January 2025, people in the NBA started asking, is this Warriors thing finally over? Should they trade Draymond? Heck, should we trade Steph Curry?
I'm looking at this Warriors squad, they know that they don't have enough, and I think it's hard.
For a while, it looked like it might be, but then the 2025 trade deadline happened. Andrew Wiggins, small parts and a first-round pick to Miami, and in return, Jimmy Butler.
The biggest news we got right now, and it is huge, Jimmy Butler on his way to Golden State.
Since that move, the Warriors have started to look terrifying again. 16-4 record since the trade, and by the time you're watching this, it's probably even better. A plus 14-point swing in net rating, and Steph is playing like an MVP again. So what changed? Well, first, Jimmy Butler brought back the Warriors' win-or-die mentality. Ever since Kevin Durant left, this team lost something. That swagger, that killer instinct where they didn't just win, they knew they were going to win. Even in 2022, they were gritty, underdog champions, not the unbeatable super team that they used to be. Now, Jimmy Butler brings that attitude back. This is a guy who doesn't care about regular season stats, but when the playoffs hit, he flips a switch. I mean, we've seen it happen twice. Playoff Jimmy is real. He dragged an 8-seed Miami Heat team to the finals twice, and he didn't do it by luck. He took down Milwaukee, he took down Boston. I mean, do you think Miami was a better team than the Bucks or the Celtics? No, but you could see their mental toughness. Playing next to Butler, guys have leveled up. It was like his teammates got 10 years of experience just from playing 2 seasons with him. I mean, Tyler Hero is a perfect example. He went from a promising young player to a guy who looked like he had been in playoff wars for a decade. Now imagine that same thing happening in Golden State. They've got young guys with potential. Podziemski, Kuminga, Moody, Post. These are players who have shown flashes, but they just haven't put it all together yet. What happens when they spend a full season learning from Jimmy Butler, and more importantly, what happens when you pair that with Steph Curry? Arguably, this is the most dangerous offensive weapon the NBA has ever seen. Now you're talking about a team no opponent wants to see in a 7-game series, but let's take a step back, because at the end of the day, this entire conversation starts and ends with one thing: Stephen Curry. Now, look at things from Curry's perspective, because, well, Curry is the system here. And when you're the system, the entire defense moves based on where you are, and no player in NBA history gets guarded like Steph Curry. We've seen stars get double-teamed, even triple-teamed, but Curry gets that treatment more than anyone in the NBA. Defenses are basically saying, Steph, you are not shooting, you're not getting in rhythm, you can pass to Draymond, and we'll deal with the 4-on-3. And you know what? That's actually a superpower when used correctly. The last time they used it right was 2022, and a championship happened. The formula is simple: hit your open shots. Because when Curry gets trapped, Golden State generates some of the easiest looks in basketball. It's just up to the others to actually hit them. But what if instead of hoping role players knock down threes, you had a guy who could just go get a bucket? That's exactly what Jimmy Butler brings. His ability to get to the rim, that's the weapon. For the first time in years, Golden State has a second option who can punish teams inside. Defenders can't just sell out on Curry because Jimmy makes them pay in the paint. And let me tell you, he's not just scoring in the paint. He's getting to the free throw line. A lot. For years, the Warriors had one major weakness: they never got to the free throw line. They ranked near the bottom of the league in attempts because their offense was all about ball movement and threes. Now, Jimmy Butler changes that.
You usually have designated 2 guards or 3-and-D guys who would be on Steph. Mm-hmm. Now they got to guard Jimmy. Because if you put a point guard on Jimmy, it's curtains.
Christmas.
Yeah, he's posting them up. He's taking them to the basket. They too small.
This man lives at the free throw line, and not only does that mean easy points, it also means Steph Curry gets to rest. Think about it. Curry never stops moving, constantly running, fighting through screens, cutting off the ball. But when Butler draws fouls, that's an in-game timeout for Steph. He's getting extra breathers without coming out of the game, and guess what? That's one of the biggest reasons why Curry's efficiency has skyrocketed since Butler arrived. Before Butler, 22.7 points per game, 43% field goal percentage, 38% from 3. Now, 28 points per game, 48% field goal percentage, 41% from 3. That's not a coincidence. Steph is fresher, and a fresh Curry is a dangerous Curry. But the crazy part is, that's not even the biggest way he's helping his team, because free throws are one thing, but fixing Golden State's biggest flaw, well, that's something entirely different. For years, the Warriors' biggest enemy wasn't their opponent, it was their own non-Steph minutes. You know how it went. Curry goes nuclear in the third quarter. Warriors go up 8 to 10 points. Next, you have Curry sit, and the lead evaporates. And then finally, Curry has to come back in the fourth, but the momentum is gone. That pattern was hurting them, but with Jimmy Butler, not anymore. Now, when Curry rests, Butler keeps the lead steady. There's no more collapse, no more wasted Steph explosions, just a team that actually knows how to close out games. So yes, the Warriors solved their biggest issue at the perfect time. But wait, before you go, while writing this great video about the Warriors being back, Steph goes down with an injury. Yikes. But the good news, there's no structural damage. The better news, Steph Curry actually gets some rest, and with Jimmy now, they can hopefully hold on to the 6th seed and get even more rest to scare the Western Conference even more. But not only do you get the Warriors with playoff Jimmy, you also get a rested and ready to go Steph Curry. That's a dangerous thought. Ever think back to how this whole Warriors thing got started? Well, I made a video on the game that changed the course of the NBA, where Steph went crazy in Madison Square Garden and showed everyone why he was a super duper megastar. Click here and see for yourself what happened. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. This is a pretty new channel and every bit of support helps. We appreciate you all. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.